Monero is far better than Bitcoin. Here's why. What's the difference between Monero and Bitcoin? Well, back in 2009, Bitcoin was the cryptocurrency that started it all. So which one out of the two is actually the better one? Keep in mind that when it comes to your hard-earned cash, we don't claim to be financial experts. So at the end of the day, it's entirely up to you what you do with the information we provide in our content. This video will help you to understand the differences between Monero and Bitcoin and explain how one is better than the other for various use cases. Before we go any further, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to learn more about cryptocurrencies. Although Bitcoin is the clear leader in terms of overall market capitalization and trading volume, Monero stands out as a privacy coin or a cryptocurrency that hides data about its users. And while cryptocurrencies are making rapid progress in becoming more useful and convenient with time, there's an ongoing war between cryptocurrencies over which is the best one for users, with over 18,000 cryptos out there today. Luckily, this war goes hand in hand with the war on centralized finance, which is making traditional currencies increasingly less useful, and people are leaning more and more towards cryptocurrencies every day. But this whole revolution was brought on by Bitcoin. So how can Monero compete? Let's boil both cryptos down to help you make an educated guess over which could be better for you. How can Monero compete with Bitcoin? Before Facebook, there were several social networks including MySpace, Orkut, and even another one called High5, each with their own network dynamics to justify their superiority. And in order to succeed, Facebook didn't just have to overcome the network dynamics, but it had to stand out clearly as the superior service at a time when millions of people had just started taking their first steps into social media networking. Likewise, we feel like Monero is a superior product that has arrived at precisely the perfect time in history when cryptocurrency adoption is higher than ever before. As far as Bitcoin is concerned, its most serious problem is its lack of anonymity. Giving your Bitcoin wallet address to a friend, for example, in order for them to quickly transfer you money jeopardizes your privacy. As a result, your buddy will be able to see how much money you have in your Bitcoin wallet. Even if you're the one transferring Bitcoin, the scenario is the same. Any receiver, both now and in the future, is able to see how much money you have in your Bitcoin wallet. We'll share a bunch of scenarios to help you get a sense of how serious this privacy issue is. Assume you're going through areas of a country where violent crime is generally high and you need to pay for something using half of your Bitcoin wallet. This could be a hazard to your personal safety if everyone you trade with knows exactly how much money you have. Even more so if you're in a foreign country as a tourist. Consider another situation in which your company gets a payment from a vendor. That supplier would be able to observe how much money your company has and make educated guesses about your pricing sensitivity in future negotiations. In simpler words, they'd essentially have access to every payment you've ever made to a Bitcoin address, and they could figure out who your other suppliers are and how much you're paying them. They may even be able to estimate the number of clients you have and how much you charge them. This is extremely sensitive information that could harm your trading relationship and result in a financial loss for you. Do you realize how vital privacy is these days? This is where Monero comes into play, regardless of how you want to utilize it. Monero addresses these concerns by autonomously applying privacy measures to each and every transaction. You can rest assured that a tainted Monero cannot be bought. This is referred to as fungibility in economics, and it has long been regarded as a key property of any currency. By introducing mixing tools, the Bitcoin community has worked to overcome these issues as well, but their methods can be compared to a bandage applied to a stab wound. Essentially, a temporary solution. Monero has a significant advantage over other cryptocurrencies because everyone who uses it gets privacy measures applied to their transactions automatically. And since privacy is automatically applied to transactions, you never have to ask for it explicitly or check if other users have activated a privacy feature when handing you payments. Also, considering the fact that Monero's privacy features are always on, even if the majority of Monero users aren't concerned about privacy, they'll automatically contribute to the improvement of privacy measures for the users who are. Other major advantages over Bitcoin. Monero's advanced mining algorithm is one of the other major advantages it has over Bitcoin. The term mining refers to the method of executing a program on a computer that validates and processes cryptocurrency transactions that are sent to the global network by others. We think Bitcoin's mining system is flawed. Why? Because custom-made mining chips, also known as ASICs, execute the Bitcoin algorithm significantly faster than regular PCs and laptops. This makes it nearly impossible for any regular computer user to participate in the Bitcoin mining process. The Monero mining algorithm, on the other hand, was explicitly intended to ensure that ASICs don't have a significant advantage over conventional computers owned by the general public. This means that people all across the world can leave mining software running on their computers at home or at work and be compensated in Monero for operating the software that processes and validates Monero transactions. As a result, if someone else pays the energy bill, for example, an employer or an apartment complex, people will have a financial incentive to mine Monero utilizing the spare capacity of the computers they currently own. People will be far more willing to use their existing computers for this activity than they would be if they had to buy and install custom ASIC mining software. Because let's be real, not everybody owns an RTX 10,000 Titanium with 10 million CUDA cores or a CPU with 23,476 gigahertz of processing power. And since no heavy-duty mining equipment is necessary, everyone who installs a Monero wallet will be able to start mining on their computer with a single click of a button. So yes, you could use your old beat-up laptop too. Monero has got us covered on that front. Bitcoin, not so much. Major differentiating factors. Other factors include the different encryption methods. The encryption implemented when transactions are conducted is what actually separates the Monero and Bitcoin blockchains. Monero utilizes ring signature technology to guarantee that the senders and receivers of a cryptocurrency transaction remain completely anonymous. Ring signatures have a simpler foundation than you would assume. This is because the man in charge of approving a transaction is part of a group that also includes people who have previously authorized transactions. This produces decoys, making it very hard for outside observers to figure out where the money is coming from. In terms of tokenomics, BTC currently has a circulating supply of roughly 19.03 million coins, although a significant portion of this is assumed to have been lost forever. Why? Because some BTC holders have misplaced their wallet keys, including an unfortunate man in Wales who unintentionally left thousands on a hard disk that ended up in the garbage. Imagine. In comparison, Monero has over 18.1 million coins in circulation and has almost reached its total supply, but it has no maximum supply logistically. But that begs the question, which cryptocurrency should you go for out of the two? Should you use Monero or Bitcoin? When it comes to deciding between Monero and Bitcoin and which is best for you, it all depends on your personal preferences. You can appreciate XMR because it gives you anonymity while making transactions, similar to what you get with cash. But this doesn't necessarily mean you're buying something unlawful. It might just indicate that you're worried about being watched. Nonetheless, it's fair to argue that Monero's existence raises some very complicated regulatory difficulties, since countries all around the world are concerned that Monero could be used to fund terrorists, launder money, or avoid paying taxes. Many governments believe that with Monero's decentralized structure and 100% anonymity, it might be difficult to track down criminal activities. So it's a big no-no for most governments, as they consider it to be a big middle finger to their institutions. It's no surprise that one of the most frequently asked questions is whether criminals misuse crypto to fund their illegal activities. According to a chain analysis study from 2021, Bitcoin is the most popular cryptocurrency for criminals thanks to its ease of use. The number of darknet markets that accept XMR has increased dramatically over the years, and governments have been concerned about this. As if Bitcoin wasn't enough, Monero had to one-up them too, with 2 middle fingers to centralization this time. Conclusion. Unfortunately, the rise of Bitcoin mixing services which combine dirty crypto with clean assets means that many criminals can still hide their footprints, similar to Monero. Aside from the age-old issue of privacy, there are both advantages and disadvantages to these two digital assets. So do your research and make your decision based on which cryptocurrency best suits your needs. To return to the topic of privacy, consider the concept of fungibility. This essentially indicates that it's impossible to track how an asset has been used in the past. Because these assets have no trail, Monero is fungible in that sense, whereas each Bitcoin has a unique identifier that can be tracked from the moment the coin has been mined. So bear this in mind. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for future videos. Please share your thoughts on Bitcoin and Monero in the comments section below and tell us which one you think is better.